Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Unfortunately, Mike can't be here today. And unfortunately, you will see if you are just listening to it in the podcast form, hopefully the audio is good. But if you are watching the live, I apologize if there's any lag on my part. Something is going on and I'm not sure what it is. So I apologize in advance for that. But anyway, Mike can't be here. He is doing something pretty neat. I think it's neat. Him and his friends since high school have gotten together every year. And I think they're on this is the 21st or 22nd anniversary. And they all get together one weekend a year. And it doesn't matter what's going on, who's married, who's got kids, who's got what, they all converge and they're all from different states and they all converge into one home and they all just get together and see how life has been in case they've lost touch. So I think that's amazing. He's doing that. And so I get to have a
Nice
one-on.
that he does that. I love that.
What's that?
I love that he does that with his friends. It's
Isn't
so
that sweet?
important.
It
And
is. It is. And what's cool is all of the women, at least the women that I know that are in it, we all feel the same way. Some women would think like, oh gosh, you're going to spend a whole weekend away just with the guys. What's going on? All of us are so supportive of it because it's such a nice thing for them to have. So, but I get to talk to a girlfriend for the next hour. I am super geeked. So Liz Gabor is my special guest, and I have an amazing bio that I want to read because I don't want to miss a thing. So, Liz is a modern, holistic, wellness focused woman, a certified transformational coach, and is certified in Kundalini yoga and meditation. She's a teacher of women's empowerment, stress management, and life optimization strategies, and has 7 years of professional experience guiding women to connect with their body, nourish their spirit, and live the life they desire unapologetically. Learn more at lizgabor.com, and we are going to put that in the show notes. So if you're listening to it on the audio, you don't have to take notes; it'll be there, and we will put it on the all of our social media as well. It's a beautiful site. So Liz, welcome.
oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you, Leigh Ann, and your audience. And thank you for the opportunity to be with you. You know how much I love you already, even though we haven't known each other for that long. It does not take long to fall in love with you. So.
Same goes with you. It is so interesting. So we met in a networking organization that I just recently joined, and we just connected. And then the deeper we connected, like the more that we talked, there were just so many levels of how we connected. And one of those is about the hugs. So you guys know that I've done a TED Talk on hugs. Well, Liz teaches on hugs, and I've had a conversation with her. There are so many. Oh, Ed is here. Wonderful. Hey, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Wonderful. Yeah. So, Ed is one of our loyal listeners, and he will be connecting with us probably throughout the whole episode. So, Ed, we
Awesome.
love that you're here. So Liz, you teach on hugs. There's a lot more than just the hug. So, what do we want to do? How did
Yeah.
you get into it? Can we start with that? Can we start with how you kind of got into that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I learned this whole hug process when I started training for my certification as a coach with Jack Canfield, and I went with my husband in 2016 for a week long breakthrough to success experience. It's called, and the first day, Jack's like, "All right, we're gonna get up and we're gonna mill around the room and do silent hugs." And some people were really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Myself being someone who, if anyone's familiar with like the five love languages,
Yes.
which are well, touch is one, physical touch,
Mhm.
acts of service.
Service?
Yeah, all the different,
Yeah.
gifts, words
Yep.
of affirmation, different things.
Yes.
Touch is mine. Yeah, like hands down, acts of service too, in different ways that I choose to do that. But and it was just, I was amazed at the experience. I mean, there were some people who were uncomfortable, but by like day 2 or 3, it was like everybody was like, "When are the hugs? When are the hugs coming?"
Oh,
Um,
wow.
there was a woman that in that week, she had no arms. Her arms completely no zero arms from
Oh,
here,
wow. Okay.
and it didn't matter. I mean, hugging her was like it was the energy. It was the energy that happened between her. I mean, I just love. It was such an interesting
Yes.
example of how it doesn't matter what your limitations are. You can still create that energy flow in between you.
Yes.
And in a few minutes, we'll get into like the whole way, the correct way to hug and the incorrect way to hug. But what I wanted to share in the beginning was something that I learned that you actually alluded to in your TED talk in the beginning with giving yourself a self hug, because especially now where we're at this point in the world with the pandemic. I mean, people are
Yeah.
gathering again and some are feeling comfortable hugging, but there's a self hugging practice that I learned a while back that's really powerful, and it kind of like just tacks on to what you did with your audience, which I love so much. So
Thank
if you want
you.
to do it with me, we can do it for a minute.
I would love it.
I learned it from this Dr. Mario Martinez. He's a neuroscientist. He learned it from a Tibetan teacher. Um,
Oh, nice.
so and he was like, we learn from the East, they learn from us, but in that sense, they don't really care about like the actual what happens as a physiological standpoint, and
Mhm.
where we are measuring that, but it's been measured. This practice actually strengthens your immune system. It does what you said in your talk. It releases oxytocin, and you can do it to yourself.
That is
So,
amazing. That is wonderful. Yes, because our whole idea about this podcast is all about mental health, and that is one of the biggest things. Is that a lot of us are feeling isolated, even if things are starting to open up, we're still feeling that isolation. So I am super excited that you also have this self-hugging portion of it. So there's no excuse like, oh, I don't have a significant other, or I don't have a friend, or I don't have, we all have ourselves. So yes, let's
and we are the medicine. Like have this inner pharmacy inside of us that we can access all the time. And I think
oh,
it is we are so much more powerful. So yeah,
yes,
so awesome.
please.
So all that
Okay.
we do is you start just by rubbing your hands together.
Okay.
And we do this to just like create a little bit of, like, they call it chi, and which is energy, or prana, life force. But it's like you're just kind of accessing both sides of your brain, just
Yeah.
rubbing, getting a little heat. Then what you do is you cross, just like you do, you cross over your shoulders, and you begin to circle forward 9 times. So it's
Okay.
2, 3,
3,
4,
4.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you
Okay.
reverse the circles. 1,
Okay.
2, 4,
5, 6,
7,
7, 8,
8,
9.
9. And you can just release your hands down and just notice what you feel. Notice if you feel any energy, if you feel any tingling,
Yes.
a little warmth. You might even like conjure up an image of like your grandmother hugging you, if that was a good, you know.
Yes.
It's funny. I think of my mother-in-law's soft hands. Like when I do that, I don't know why her hands are so soft, and it's
Oh.
just when I do that to myself, it's like I can feel her hands. So
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't even just the physical, just where I was touching. It brought chills right through my whole body, it felt. Is that
yeah, yeah,
wow.
that's the whole activating. It's like turning on all those cells, and again, you're releasing that oxytocin, that is like those feel good hormones, and
Oh,
and and you're and you're strengthening your immune system at the same time, which is also,
yeah.
again, where we are the medicine people of ourselves. That
Yes.
if we practice these things, so it's an
That is
easy one that I just wanted to make sure that I started with, because
yes.
again, like you said, people are isolated, people are feeling um, you know, a lot
Yes.
more depression, a lot more mental health issues are happening more than
Yeah.
ever. And, you know, just do
Just
this a few times a day when you're feeling like I need a hug or I need, you know,
yes.
you
Just
can.
something it's like a balance, yeah, and Ed is a pharmacist, and so he says, "Now I'm out of a job if we all have an inner pharmacy." Oh, Ed. So
Well,
he said, maybe that's connected to the placebo effect.
it actually is the placebo. It really is the placebo. It is. It's the placebo effect, yes. But it's an active, like we're doing it actively. So, but yeah, it is definitely a placebo effect
Yeah.
of an actual, you know, nurturing hug from another, but we're doing it for ourselves. So you're very, very much correct,
Yeah.
Ed.
But now, okay, so how does this play into this? Because when we actually touch and we activate the pressure receptors, like there's
Yeah,
actually a neurochemical thing that's happening when we're touching. So it's I don't so yes, it's placebo, but it's also there's actual chemicals that are being released.
right. So it's a
Yeah.
plus. Yeah. So it is a placebo plus. Plus.
Yes. There we go. I love it, Liz. Yes.
You know, it's a little
Yeah.
upgrade of the placebo, and it's not a total placebo. So it's not you won't have the same effect if you just kind of visualize it. Although I believe very much that you can visualize a lot of things that have the effect happen in your body, but this is one
Yes.
that is really
Me
it.
too.
You know, it has that kinesthetic effect that we want
Yes.
from
Yes.
the, you know, the touch.
Yeah.
Um,
And you know what I've always said about the placebo? Like people will be like, "Oh, that's just a placebo," or "Oh, just this." Yeah, okay, but like 90% of the things that we experience are just in our head anyway. So like if
mhm,
it works, it works. Who cares if it was an illusion? Who cares what it was? It's, you know, it's
totally.
amazing. Oh gosh. Okay, so I don't want to stop you. So what else can we yeah.
No, 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 no. It's so true. I agree with you. Like placebo, schlemibo. I don't care
Yeah.
if it makes us feel good, and we can, you know, especially when our mind starts going down, and we can
Yeah.
actually like reach for a higher vibing thought or whatever you know, it
Yes.
is, and we have that power. It's such an amazing thing. So I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so just before the show, I was really like, I was on the verge of crying. I was just so it was just one of those days, really overwhelmed, really tired, really just everything. And right now I feel and it's like, just your energy, even online, like we've said that before, even just online, your energy is just so awesome, but that hug I and it might be placebo, but it really changed something in me. I feel a little bit more energetic. Like I feel a little bit more tingly, like I'm ready to like have, So thank you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, of course. Absolutely. And that, but that's how quick we can shift out of that. Like that's how
yeah,
fast. And there is I mean, even just this part, it's like you're waking up you're waking up both sides of your brain by just rubbing your hands together.
yeah.
And then so you're creating energy in your hands, and you know, and we'll talk about in a second. I can see with these, I can't see with them. I take them
That's
on.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
no, whatever you're comfortable with. I'll read if their comments come through, I'll read
Yes,
them so you don't
please.
have to worry about it.
It's supposed to be like better for the computer, but sometimes I can't see.
Okay.
Anyway, but what I was going to say is when we're going to start to talk about, you know, the actual hug process is what I teach and what I learn. You know, we have this electromagnetic field around us. We all do,
Yeah.
and when we do correctly hug, which I'm going to show you in a minute,
Okay.
um, we are actually strengthening our electromagnetic field. It's been studied. It grows. And what the interesting thing about the incorrect way that most people hug, which
Mhm.
I'll also share in a minute, you don't get those benefits. You don't get the same. It doesn't
Oh,
weaken you. It just doesn't strengthen you.
okay.
So what we want to learn the correct way, which is
Yes.
we're going to do it. And it's again, it's about the power of touch. It's about the power of like really nurturing each other, not and which is why doing it in the way that really is intentionally nurturing is the ticket, you know, to
Yes.
the benefits of it. Uh,
Yes.
and I mean, again, just doing it with in seminars like I've done it and
Mhm.
seeing like just the powerful. effects, even like after a difficult exercise where people are just kind of cracked open, then you do the hug process and you just see people kind of just able to walk back to their seat. They might be crying, but they're just much more,
Wow.
they're feeling supported and grounded. It's like,
Yes.
you see me, I see you.
Mm.
We take care of each other. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing.
Oh, that's
And I do
amazing.
it, like I think I told you, Leigh Ann, I started doing it at my house for holidays whenever I
Yes.
would host, and I was hosting a lot pre-COVID, not so much yet in
Yeah.
the last couple of years, but and when people entered my house and they would come in, sit down, like ready to, you know, say hello, whatever, and I would just say, okay, I'm going to demonstrate the hug process, and
Oh.
we're going to go around for a few minutes, get at least 6 hugs from people that that you don't see normally, and then and then I'm like, or otherwise we're not eating.
Love that.
And
Oh,
I
I
was
love that.
playing music, and everybody, I would just watch it happening, and it was just really, really, really beautiful.
That
So,
is. Oh, and look who's on. Hi, AB.
oh, good. That's good, because I'm going to be asking him to come up in a minute to just
Wonderful.
help in my demonstration.
This
Uh,
is Liz's hubby, so we'll meet him shortly.
my
Thank
my
you very much, AB. That's very sweet.
my hubby and my huggy. All right, yo, you know what, Amy? I need an assistant right now. If you could please make your way up to to where I am, that would be awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Um, so yeah, I'm just going to show you some ways that are the incorrect ways,
Yes.
and then the correct ways, because
Beautiful.
yeah, it is a
And I
beautiful.
love that you did say that even though it's incorrect way, it's not going to weaken us. It's still going to be helpful. So it's not a matter of like, oh, what if I can't remember how to do it? And then there's a stress level. Don't worry about it. But I'm just excited that we're going to learn the right way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no reasons. I mean, believe me, any hug is a good hug, and like
Yes.
it's free. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Um,
Yes.
but let's see if he's. Wait 1 second.
Yes, no problem. Okay, so while Liz is getting situated, I just want to remind you guys of the book club. So on Monday, tomorrow, we're starting a brand new book. So we are going to be doing Brene Brown's book. Oh, and AB is here. Okay, so we will talk
Yeah,
about that
no
at the end
worries.
of the show.
Okay. So I just want
Hello, AB.
so for the people who can see us, but we'll also I'll also describe what we're showing you, but
Please.
some ways that are the wrong ways to hug. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
wonderful.
So the first one is called the A-frame hug. Okay. So that's
Okay.
like this. So you barely don't want to touch, right?
Okay.
Okay. The next one is nope, no, no hitting there. That's the half a chest is better than none. So it's
Okay.
basically you're getting a tiny bit of you, not what we're looking for.
Okay.
Is the baby. Or the baby hug, and that's like you're like infantilizing the other person, really, and
Oh,
like yeah, and sometimes they'll be like, "I'll pat your head and rub your
yeah.
burp you." Yeah, not good. One tap, okay, but not
Yes.
the person. No, we don't want to do that.
Oh,
Then
wow, I
there
never
is
thought about that.
this one, the hit and run. So it's just I really I know
That was a hockey check
That was
to those Canadians that in the crowd.
that we love it. We love it. And I should be saying what's happening here. So that was like a quick like in and out because
the hit
on the
and
podcast, people might just be sounding like you're just hitting each other.
yeah, we just like touch body for 1 second, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I had to get this over with, but I
Yeah.
didn't want anything more than that. It's just way too much. Kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
And
Then
at that point, don't you think maybe a handshake is just better? Like,
it certainly is. And
yeah.
honestly, Leanne, if you're working, like if you're, if I was going into like a prison, like with inmates, like I wouldn't just say, okay, everybody get up and let's do the hug.
Right.
Like, maybe start with a high five, start with a handshake.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But
Exactly.
eventually you can work up to that, to the actual process that's the most nurturing.
Yes.
Okay. Then there is the The bear hug, don't do it. The bear hug is when you squeeze somebody so hard, like, you're basically either picking them up or you're
Yep.
squeezing them so hard, and it's just usually exerting power over the other. And
Oh,
so it's not an equal, kind of
yeah,
way
exchange.
of hug. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I
What
never thought about all of these.
These are all something I learned. These are also all what I learned not to do.
Yes.
There's this one where you stand side by side. It's me and you against the world.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
nice. It's nice if you're like overlooking a meadow with your son, like, oh, this is where, we're gonna have our mountain property. But it's not really the kind of
Right.
hug that we're talking about. It's like this is the only part that's touching. Right.
Right. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Abby's favorite. The bump and grind. This is what we don't want to do. He's been waiting all day for that. I just
Oh,
thought,
Amy.
he has
It's
been
not
waiting
true.
all day
It's
for
not
that.
Okay, so everybody, if you're listening to the podcast on audio, you need to head over to YouTube and you need to watch this video. They are adorable. Oh my gosh. Okay,
Not
go
about
ahead.
it, like getting fill me up time or sexual, and believe me, Leon, I've been in rooms where it's been like I've had to go up and say, listen, like there's just some inappropriate thing, and people don't
Yep.
realize that they're maybe
Yeah.
being a little inappropriate.
Yep.
So the actual correct way to hug, we're
Okay.
going to just demonstrate, is left ear to left ear. Usually people hug right ear to right ear, and now that you've heard that, and you're going to notice it forever.
Yes. Okay.
So the actual way is to embrace from left ear, from your waist to your neck, and you breathe into it,
Oh,
and you stay for
heart
about
to
at least 20 seconds, heart to heart. Your hearts are overlapping each other, and you just sink into it. Just one more quick thing before we continue is if you're short, like I am,
yes.
and your person that you're hugging is tall,
Yes.
what can happen is like they're gonna hug you and it's gonna be like this.
Okay. Yep.
And so the right thing to do is for the taller person bends their knees,
Yep.
and so that you're even, and you can hug in that
Oh,
way. And so you're connecting from waist all the way to shoulders
that
to neck.
is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then what did you do with your arms? So you kind of go on the angle.
I mean, it's it can go under.
So that part doesn't
It
matter.
can go over. That doesn't really matter. Also, you can rock a little. Sometimes I like to rock a little bit, but not rock. Just a little.
Right. Sway.
Yeah, I like to sway a little bit. It's not necessary. It's not part of the thing, but it's really that nurturing, equal connection of energy. That's
Beautiful.
talking about. Okay, thank you.
Love you, AB. Thank you so much. You did a wonderful Vanna for us.
Thank you for assisting.
Love you.
Thank you for letting me participate.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, he's so sweet. I love that man. Oh my goodness. Oh, I teared up when you guys did the real one. Like some sort of something happened over me. It was just very, very beautiful.
Yeah, it blows my mind how much you can gain from it. How much like you can gain from really just being intentional a little bit about it. And connecting and just surrendering, connecting. It's like you're giving energy, or you're getting energy. And again, there's that effect of creating more energy. And I mean, even if we were going to go further, if Abe was here, like you can do this muscle testing, and like you muscle test when somebody hugs right ear to right ear.
Okay.
You muscle test them, they go weak, but it doesn't mean you're weaker, but it just means that you're not getting the same effect. You do it again, left ear to left ear.
Yeah.
You muscle test them and they're stronger.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then is there like because when I was doing the research, there was like a few things about like how long a hug should last versus how long they actually last. Do you have anything that you kind of go by?
I mean, I like to say, I think 20 seconds or longer.
Yeah.
20 seconds or longer, because I was in seminars and doing this days and days, and I've done it around weeks, different weeks. And, you really try to sync your breathing, you try to breathe together, really, and that's a little advanced, but yeah, 20 seconds or at least 20 seconds. I think that's where the actual energy exchange kind of that happens. Is that what you found in your research?
That is what I found. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then, but that
That's when you get the release of that oxytocin, I think, it's 20 seconds.
yeah. Yeah. Yep. And then, but the average hug of what people normally do, I feel like, and this was a long time since I did that research, but I feel like it was something like 3 seconds or 5 seconds or something, like something ridiculous. But then when you think about it, that is what it is. It's just like you feel like when people hug, they just feel like, okay, I did the action and now I can move on, and that should have been enough. And I feel like that shows up a lot in our life when we're like quote unquote listening to people. People just listen for their chance to talk instead of taking the time to listen for the whole thought and taking it in. So I feel like we do that a lot, that it's like if we just spend even just an extra 10 seconds in any given situation, we could get so much more out of it.
Yeah, that pause without any, intention of what we're going to say and all that. That's presence. That's the gift of presence, gift of
Yeah.
being of the present, of being presence, of
Yes.
being present, and um, it takes practice, and it
Mhm.
takes, really taking a look at yourself and saying, how do I show up?
Yes.
Am I ready? Like, oh, I'm going to be quick, and I'm going to, and for me, like one of the things that I do, I have a tendency to fill in for people, like, because I know what they're saying. So I'll fill in, like, I
Right.
think I'm helping them. I'm helping them by like saying the rest of the sentence.
Mhm.
And sometimes, yes, but sometimes, like with clients, especially, like, no, like I got to sit with the silence and let them fill in the words that I think maybe that I want to fill in. I got to just stop,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's a practice like anything else, just like this is a practice.
Yep.
Um,
That's
but
beautiful.
the benefits and what you get back when you actually lean into this stuff
Yeah.
is life changing, I feel.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I am all for it. I like mom and I at one point we had cuz we hug and we're in construction, so we are on the sites with the guys, and um we don't go around and like hug the whole everybody that's there, but if we're working with, a contractor, we don't think anything of it to, start the conversation or end the conversation with a hug. And we got to a point at one because a couple people were like, okay, they said snide remarks about you guys do that too much. It's not professional.
Hmm.
So mom and I had to have that conversation together as a business decision. And okay, because we even went as far as like we sign off all of our emails. It doesn't matter who we're talking to, client or trade or whatever. Make it a happy and healthy day. Hugs, Leigh and T,
Yeah,
always.
I love it.
And so we were like, oh gosh, should we stop? But it doesn't matter. And AB in the last meeting, he was saying we need to bring more love to every conversation that we're having. The
Okay.
fact that we can do that, we can't dim our light and dim our love because people feel uncomfortable, because
Mhm.
there's so much magic at the end of it.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that you had that conversation, that you did not stop that,
No,
because no,
no,
and I would never think that you would.
no.
And we're encouraged to be professional, be this. We need, first of all, as a woman, and the world needs
Yes,
the feminine qualities such as love and compassion, and not that they're not masculine as well,
yes,
but I say make them more make them uncomfortable.
yes,
And that's okay. That's okay, because it's uncomfortable in a good way. It's an uncomfortable
yes.
way, because the thing is, there's so many people out there in the world that even before the pandemic, like it could be like 10 years where they've had actual physical contact
Yes.
because they're single or because they're, whatever.
Yep.
And we don't thrive without that. We don't,
No.
we don't. I mean, we need it. It's a basic human need, just like food and water and
Yep.
shelter, is touch. And some
Yep.
people need it more, like myself.
Yeah.
um, but it
Yeah.
is something that can really it's like can be a matter of people living or dying, and there's so many studies that show that. So
Yep.
you keep doing that. You're a mother and daughter. You're not you're not doing the bump and grind.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's and with
Yep.
the construction work, it's the same thing. It's like it's going to soften them to
Mhm. We
it's
get more out of it's so interesting because we'll have like designers or clients or whatever that'll say, I don't know how you did that, but like he's actually doing what we need him to do. And he hasn't done that in weeks, or he'll like whatever the situation is. And it's because he feels seen. He's not just the worker, he feels like he's seen in that moment. And it's really that simple. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and yes, we should do the 20-second hug. We don't do the 20-second hug with them. It's more of the, 3 to 5 second just to um
Well, it's a thank you. It's an
yes.
acknowledgement. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that
Yes.
would have to be done in a way like you're not going to do that unless it's in a place where it's kind of like taught, you know,
Yes.
you know, because
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
there could be mixed messages there.
Yes.
But instead, it's I see you, I
Right.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know,
You're doing a
um,
great job.
in yoga, in my yoga tradition, we say Satnam is how we greet each other. Satnam, which is Sat means truth and Nam means name. So it's like, I see your truth. I see the truth in you. You see the truth in me.
Oh, I
I
love
mean, it's one of my favorite things. And then we bow, we bow. And I mean, to me, if like, if like handshakes don't come back or whatever, I think bowing is like the way to go. It's such a
yes.
beautiful, like to bow to each other, to me feels so, I don't know,
Yeah,
sacred. Like
it does.
I see your truth. I bow to your truth.
Mhm.
Is something that I don't know if the hugs are not so much coming back as like a safe thing to do too soon.
Yes.
I recommend the little bit of the bow.
I love that because it brings back the respect that I think a lot of people are missing. I feel like the bow when I was in Japan, you did that with everybody. That was a very like us with eye contact. I mean, I guess maybe not so much, but with eye contact or a wave, they did the bow and it was to show respect and to show that you see that person. And I remember when I came back and I was only there for like I was in Korea and Japan, maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. When I came home, it took me a good month to get that out of my system because it felt so good. I was bowing to everybody in the street and everybody that I saw anywhere. And it felt very respectful. And yeah, it's exactly like you're saying. Like it's hard to put a feeling or a word on it, but it is. I would love for that to come back. Liz,
I
I'm gonna
love
task you for that. You bring that back.
that.
Get the world on that. Okay, so we've got some just before we move forward, we've got some very nice comments here. So Laura, hi Laura. She says very interesting and I think that came through when you were doing the presentation with AV.
Hi,
Um
Laura. Thank you. Hi,
and Angelica Frith, hello. And
Angelica. Yeah.
oh, nice. So then you a friend of yours probably?
She's in our Master Networks newly, a new person who joined our group. She's
Oh,
wonderful. And yeah, you guys will definitely hit it off. No doubt. No doubt.
oh, wonderful. Yes. Okay. And then here we go. Make men hug again. Yes, yes. So I don't know. Actually, this may be, I don't know if this is Mike or Christopher. Anyway, either one. Hey guys. Yes, make guys hug again. That's the whole thing too. I am really liking that men are becoming I don't want to use the word softer, but they're allowing themselves to open up and be human, where for so long it was like, you can't cry, you can't hug, you can't show any kind of emotion. And I just can't even imagine living in a like in that body that you can't express that, so I'm really liking that that's starting to
Yeah. And
be
it,
acceptable.
it's actually, Leigh Ann, like there's something happening in the cosmos, really, like in the, whereas there's more love energy, like that's being available to us now based on the cosmos. Like I don't know the science so much, but we're in this place where, we're living from a heart center place, and it is more available to us
Beautiful.
and more needed. And so, yeah, the men definitely are involved in that shift. We all are. It's not even, we're part of it's happening,
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
we can't fight it, or we can fight it, or we can let's just, kind of lean into it. And I think
Embrace
that's
it.
what you're saying. And it is a beautiful thing, because we all have those different parts of us, and even any strong man, I don't care what you are, but you still, have these needs to feel nurtured and taken care of and loved, and
Yeah.
share love,
Yes.
again, a human need that will only create more joy and peace and love in your life.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so let's just see real quick these comments. Okay, so the fact that spreading more love was brought up in our meeting, it just goes to show what kind of group we are blessed to be a part of. Like, you found your people.
Mm.
Amen. Yes. So just for anybody that's listening, oh yes, Amy. Okay, so nothing beats hugs. Yes, I completely agree. Although I do love that bow. I do want that to come back. And just for anybody that's listening that's wondering about the networking group, it's not like a group of just like women that are together, and that's why we're talking about love and hugs and whatever. This is a high powered group of people. Actually, Liz is from New York, and this group is based in New York. And when you think of New York people, you think of, that they're hustling, and they're, totally successful, productive people. And these people are, every single one of them are, but they respect everybody in the room, and they understand that relationships are the only thing that truly matters at the end of the day. The transactions will come, the business connections will come, but the actual relationships with another human being is the most vital thing in our life. And so I just love it.
Mm.
Oh, it's just so wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, AB is inviting. So AB is our
Leo,
president,
Leo.
and he's inviting everybody. Yes, it's Friday mornings, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. If you guys want any more information, you can DM us and we'll give it to you. It is an incredible group of people. But anyway, I didn't think we would go into that, but it is. And that, I think, is it really phenomenal, because it just shows, like you said, I didn't know that it was like kind of a thing that was happening in the cosmos, but I have been seeing it in real life, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so
That's where I think, again, the change. That's why I think our Master Networks chapter is so successful, because we focus on that. We focus on that which is happening, even though we don't even really know, but we're focusing on the shift in
yes,
in the cosmos, a little bit about more compassion, more love, more relationships, more, you know,
yes,
hugs, even virtually hugging around
yes,
each other, and
yes,
not about competition, and not about beating the other one, because we know that it only grows from love. Like that's, I think, but we kind of know on a level that some kind of innate level that we're
yes,
able to have. That's why people join our chapter.
yes.
um, yeah.
Oh, it is so, so beautiful. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay, so AB's saying that we represent 10 states and the province of Ontario. What? Um, I didn't know that. That is awesome. We
Mhm.
really, this whole thing, oh, AB, I love you. So, yeah, this is just fantastic because I think gone are the days of just, you know, trying to get and trying to take and trying to up level and, you know, I just it's so beautiful. But anyway, so let's continue on. I want to ask you a question so we can go into whatever you want. We still have 20 minutes. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Okay. Um so, but I do want to ask you about your meditation because I know that you teach meditation. Um, because we hear a lot about it in our talks when we're doing our podcast, when we're doing our book club. The conversation always comes up about meditation, and I don't know how to do it. I don't do it right. I can't spend all the time. Like we hear all these things, but then we also know how important it is. So I would just love for you to even just touch on how you get people to really kind of commit to a practice, and is it worth committing to a practice?
I mean, I'll start with the end, but I mean, for me, it was worth committing to a practice for my sanity, for my peace of mind, for not being living in chronic anxiety and, and like lots of different things as a result of the chronic anxiety. So for me, it's a, no, it's a non-negotiable, like brushing my teeth, like for me.
Okay.
But, for other people, and so I think everybody can benefit.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, and this is the thing that they don't even know. I was watching a Harvard thing. It was a mindfulness summit just 2 days ago, Friday, a couple of days ago, and they haven't studied even. They're still in the process of studying whether you need to sit for 20 minutes, twice a day, which is what I've
Yeah.
done for years.
Oh,
And
wow.
sometimes I mean, the 20 minutes in the morning, yes, in the afternoon, sometimes not,
Okay.
but at least once a day, but also throughout the day, I do an hour break every hour for, I do 10 breaths, I do whatever. It just re
Oh,
recenters
beautiful.
me. But the heart, with the research saying they haven't studied whether you can do 3 minutes, like 3 times a day to get equal 10 minutes, or you have to do 10 minutes at the same time. The science is still out on that, which I was
Oh, wow.
really surprised that it hasn't been studied. But
Yeah.
I believe that any time of it is going to be good. So like just before you get out of bed, before you look at the dumb, stupid phone,
Mhm.
you breathe a couple times, take a couple of deep breaths, and you just center yourself and you set an intention. How do I want to feel today? I mean,
Yeah.
and then it's like priming yourself. And then, I do all kinds of like, you know, like I do 5 4 3 2 1 launch. That's Mel Robbins. Like
Yes.
out of bed, that gets me out of bed. Then I put my feet on the floor and I'm like, thank you because I woke up today. There's just little things that whatever kind of like, and I do the things that kind of just make me like they're fun, they're cute, they're whatever.
Do you mind sharing it? Because we have a little bit of time. If you
Right.
don't mind sharing kind of like what your routine looks like.
Mhm. Yeah, so I do I sit down and I take just a couple of minutes to just connect to the earth with my feet. I sit in my chair and whatever, and I feel my feet growing into the earth. That's a little bit yogic, but feeling
Mhm.
roots into the earth, connecting like let me get nourished by all the goodness of the earth. And I sit there for a second. Then I think of a few things that I'm grateful for. Like, I mean, anything from the biggest things to the fact that I'm wearing my cozy pajamas. Like, oh, they feel so cozy. And
Oh,
I didn't put on my gym clothes because I don't care. I'm not putting them on today because I'm cozy right now. My
oh,
cup of coffee
beautiful.
that I smell making, whatever. And then and then to kind of energize myself, I do the yes. I don't know if you've seen that. I do this yes
Oh, yes, yes.
breath. Yes. And I hit my ribs pretty hard. Yeah, it's like a jolt. Yes, my day is going to go great. Yes, I'm going to accomplish this. Yes, I'm going to feel good. Yes, I'm healthy. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever I want to say yes to.
I love
Um,
it.
like 20 times or whatever. And then I sit and I usually have my hands up, like kind of up on my lap, open,
Okay.
like kind of receiving and just asking, like, the universe or God or whatever higher power of your understanding is, you know, what would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? And I repeat that. What would you have me do? What would you have me say? What to whom? And just kind of wait in that receptive mode for some answers.
Oh,
Um, and then, you know, and then I do a little yoga, I do a little exercise to move my body. I dance. I put on a dance song at the end of my practice every morning.
yes.
That's new
I
only after
love
the
it.
last few months, but I dance around like
I
just
love it.
let it go. And it's like a joy practice is how I end it, my,
Oh,
my morning routine.
I love that.
And it doesn't take that long. I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, it's like I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes. It's not that long. And
Yeah.
it's a non-negotiable again. Like
Mhm.
I don't start my day unless I have kind of done those things.
Yes.
And I could be doing more, like you know, you know, and then my 20 minutes of meditation is really it's TM meditation, which is transcendental meditation, which is just a
Mhm.
mantra that it's just like it could be anything for the audience. It could just be breathing in love, breathing out, you know, the stuff that doesn't serve me, or the
Yep.
jump, breathing in peace, you know, breathing out stress or whatever.
Or
Or
anxiety, like if we have anxiety, could we do that we're breathing in peace and breathing out anxiety?
yeah,
So then
yeah,
we can kind of push.
absolutely. It almost you can almost see the anxiety as like a mist of gray mist, like a smoke, breathing out that mist and
I love
breathing
it.
in all the goodness and then
Uh,
breathing out. Just mist. It's just going to transmute. It's nothing. It's just you don't have to hold it in you anymore. You can just let it go.
I love that. Oh, okay. And I love that we went into that because I feel like I'm at least once a month, I'm researching what are people doing for a morning routine. Because I still haven't kind of found my groove of what works for me. And I think that's where people, and I won't speak for everybody, but I think that's where people kind of, they give up because they're like, okay, well, this is the, 5 a.m. club. This is what they do in their morning routine, or this is what Mel Robbins says, or this is what Tony Robbins says, or this is, and then it doesn't work for them.
Robin.
What's that?
One of the
One
Robins.
of the Robins, yes. And, they like it didn't work for them, so then they give up, and it's like everything is an adaptation, and you can pull from different pieces, and not everything you don't have to do although the gratitude I think is super important. I think that everybody should be incorporating that into, like, just their daily, um, but, like, the dancing, I love that, and I'm going to be incorporating that. I've a couple times, like, through this last month, I would say a couple times a week, I've been doing that just because I've been so, like, go, 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 that if I hear a good song, I just, like, pull myself away from the computer, and then I just, like, dance, even if it's just for that song or
Yeah.
for the rest of that song, so it's like 2 minutes. It makes you feel so good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that was something again, just like you said, that was something I heard
Mhm.
from I don't even remember exactly where I heard it, but someone was like, just do one song. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll
I
do
can do that.
one song a morning, like, and then I'll go shower or whatever.
That's
And it's
awesome.
like I can do one song. And I mean, sometimes I'll be in the bathroom. I mean, and I'm like, I'll put the song and I'm just like getting ready. And I mean, it's just it's easy. You can do one song. Anybody can do
Yes.
one song. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So people are getting intimidated about, I'm not good at it. All the things about the
Yeah.
thoughts. I mean, I am a severe recovering overthinker. And so
Mhm.
I had a mental tape going on that was
Yeah.
beyond what most people could even imagine. And meditation changed it for me. That's why I'm so committed to it as a savior of practice for myself. But
Beautiful.
not everybody needs like that. You just need something. It's like just to connect to yourself in whatever way, connect
Yes.
and not get so bogged down with the thoughts, because that's the problem. The thoughts are
Yes.
just thoughts. Like, we don't know it. I didn't know it. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
it. I learned it and then was able to see it. through
Yeah.
the meditation that now it's just like thoughts, negative thoughts. Bye.
Yes.
I'm not going to attach to them. They're not going to ruin my day. I'm just going to be like, oh, there you go. Triggered again. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not this. You're not this. Okay. Bye. But that took years
Right.
for me, but it doesn't have to take years for some people. I mean, you can just start to learn to just notice,
Yes.
and I can help anybody who would like help in your audience, and that's one of the things I love to do.
Yeah, and I want you to be able to kinda talk to us about, because I know that you've got an event that's coming up, but I want you to talk about that, if you don't mind sharing that with our audience. I would love for you to talk about that, and I would love for you to talk about what you do and how you help, because I'm part of, your group of, the
Mhm.
Ageless Angels, right? Is that what we're
It
called?
just got his vibe tribe.
Yes, yes. And, I adore it. Like, the energy inside of that group is incredible. So yeah, I just this event that you've coming up, can you tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about that and how you go about coaching and what you do? Because 'Cause you've got a lot that you kind of do
yeah.
for people.
So, I mean, just FYI, it was going to begin this Wednesday. It's
Okay.
actually going to be starting the following Wednesday, and then it's
Okay.
going to go for 5 Wednesdays at noon Eastern time. I'm going to
Okay.
be doing the same master class, and it's Own Your Ageless Goddess Vibe. And it's really about, it's about tapping into like all of the nonsense about how you get to a certain age, like over 30. I mean, I was thinking over 40, and over the last few months I've decided that, and from my own journey and from people that I work with
Mhm.
over 30, that we start having these expectations and pressure about what we should have accomplished by this year and this age and this X, Y, and Z, and that is completely not
Garbage.
true.
Yes.
So I want to shed light on that, and I have some steps in there to the secrets to really like owning your vibrancy, your sensuality, you being in charge, and it comes out of my 20 years of deep self exploration and personal development work, that which is why I feel like I'm able to even have this conversation. you know
That's awesome.
so I want to help as many women as I can. So the platform is Eventbrite because I'm starting to create a group coaching program where we're going to be women, just similar to like my Facebook group, but this is going to be a membership where people can, I'm going to have teachings every week, trainings every
Yes.
week. I'll be around like with my full ultimate focus for people out a number of hours a week, so you can do coaching online,
Oh, nice.
within a group with and by yourself, and have this community that is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. I have such a vision for it. But the vision for the Ageless Goddess Vibe Tribe it came out of me turning 50 and my friends starting to say dumb things about like we're going downhill,
Oh my gosh.
oh no, we're just getting started. Like, and
Yes.
um and it's kind of like my passion to really help women eliminate all that self-doubt and all that fear really around growing older, so they can just fully step into living their dream lives, because that's what we're here to do. It's like
Mhm.
almost full circle for what you said in the beginning, just fulfill that innate love and highest vision that we have
Yes.
for ourselves, and to do that unapologetically.
That is my favorite part. That's my
Mhm.
favorite of what you said, because that's the whole thing. There's so much stigma, which is ridiculous, but there's so much stigma around it that, like, yeah. I mean, anyway, so when you were saying about, like, you thought it was 40, but you really do think it's 30, if you do put an age thing on this, I would suggest that you do 25 and older, because I've had so many friends that are going to be 25 years old, and that's where they start that feeling, and then by the time they get to that 30 mark or the 29 and they're going to be 30, like they're so far into that there's a lot of like reprogramming and rewiring that needs to be done.
That's that's so crazy, Leon, because it's like, I mean, I said 40, and then I mean, this woman was like, Liz, like 30, like when did you start your transformation? I was 35, and she's like, when I was 30, it's when I started like having all these things, and now you're telling me 20.
Just start out of the womb. That's what you need, is you need to start out of the womb. When the labor is happening,
Oh
you
my
just start your coaching at that point.
Well, I mean, believe me, I could have used it in high school. Like, and at some point, I would love to work with girls in high school, because that's when I started to have
Yes.
all these horrible anxiety, because I just didn't feel like I was good enough at it compared to like whatever the other 15-year-olds. I mean,
Right.
it's or even 11, 12, 13. So yeah, it's an issue. And I want to help all of them, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh
thank
gosh.
you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is so, so wonderful. Okay. So we'll watch for that event, and when it's coming up and you've got the information, let us know, and then we'll pass it along, because I'm sure a lot of people are listening and wanting that information. So when the Eventbrite is up, let us know and we'll
Yes.
pass that along.
Next, it'll be in a week from this Wednesday at noon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. That is awesome. Okay. So I mean, we could go a little bit over too, but we've got about like 5 minutes left. Is there anything else that, like, because we've kind of like, yeah, went all over, which I adore, but I want to know, I know you had a lot to come here with. So
Yeah, no, I wrote down just a couple of things when,
please.
and when saying like, how do I want to end? So I'm just going
Yes.
to read this little, this is not me, but this is something I love so much about the whole hugging thing.
Okay.
So it's the Surgeon General. I don't know if this is correct, but the Surgeon General has determined that hugging is good for your health, which we already know.
Yes.
Hugging is practically perfect. No movable parts, no batteries to wear out, no periodic checkups, low energy consumption, high energy yield, inflation proof, non-fattening, no monthly payments, no insurance requirements, theft proof, non-taxable, non-polluting, and of course, fully returnable. It's all natural. I'm almost done. All natural, organic, sweet, no pesticides, no preservatives, no artificial ingredients, 100% wholesome, the best people, places, and times to hug anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Oh my gosh. I love that. What a great way to end. Oh my gosh. That was so good. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Oh,
Mhm.
Liz,
I
this
vow.
oh my gosh, yes. Please. You are phenomenal. Um, this flew by. This absolutely flew by. I feel like it was like a minute ago that I was like, "Oh, we still have 20 minutes to go." So,
Please.
you are such a joy to be around, and I am just so grateful that you opened up about so many different things. So, this was just wonderful. I do want to tell everybody, I started saying it earlier, our book club, it's actually very fitting. The book that we're starting tomorrow is The Gifts of Imperfection
Mhm.
by Brene Brown.
Love
So, if you guys want to join us, it is 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. I'll get you the link. And I've actually got a free PDF for you if you want, if you haven't bought the book, but you know that I like hard copies. I think that, being able to write and take notes and be one with the book is super important. But if you want to get into it, so then you can join us tomorrow. We're just reading the first 2 chapters, intro, and then the next chapter. We would love to have you. If you can't read it in time, you can join us anyway. It's a really great group of people. And that is it. And I also want to Josh is not here, but I did want, Mike's brother's usually here, one of our fans, and he is going in for a procedure tomorrow. So Josh, if you're watching this in the replay, we love you. We're with you. We're praying for you. And I know that you will pull through this. So that is it. Liz, thank you. Abby, thank you. Everybody that's
you.
watching, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Leigh Ann. You're a joy, and yeah, Leah, light and love to Josh, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I love you.
I
Oh,
love you
big
so
hugs.
much.
Oh, yes. Can we end? Let's end. Okay, so let's end with this. So it was, we do down, right? A run in the circle.
Forward 9, yep.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the reverse.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that is so awesome. There was like a point in there that I actually like could feel it shift. That is so, so cool. Oh, we just have one more. So Angelica, she says, I agree. My younger sister would benefit from your event, and she's turning 30 in a couple of years. See,
Oh,
it keeps getting younger and younger. So that's wonderful. Watch for that.
okay.
And I'm sure, I don't know if you're going to have a cutoff for this, but hopefully we could just share it with everybody.
Yeah, no, and it's gonna be ongoing weekly for like 5 weeks, at least 5
Beautiful.
weeks. So
Beautiful. Just before the holidays. That's so wonderful. Oh, well, Liz, thank you so much. I love you dearly, and you have a wonderful, wonderful night.
I love you dearly too.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and thank you to your beautiful audience.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.